The den fell silent as Ferris entered, her boots crunching softly against the crystalline floor of the Vacrian matriarch's chamber. Every eye, golden, slitted, predatory, fixed upon the human female as she walked deeper into the heart of their most sacred space. Rocky watched from the entrance, his hand resting cautiously on his plasma sidearm. "Ferris," he whispered through their comm link. "This is insane. No outsider has ever—" "I know what I'm doing," she replied, her voice steady despite the dozens of massive wolf-like aliens surrounding her. The Vacrian cubs, each one the size of a full-grown Earth Mastiff, watched with ears perked forward, their juvenile curiosity barely contained by instinct. At the center of the chamber, on a throne carved from meteoric iron, sat Matriarch Krelva. She was enormous, her silver fur marked with the scars of 100 battles, her shoulders broad enough to carry the weight of an entire clan's survival. The scar that dominated the left side of her face, a jagged line from eye to jaw, was legendary throughout the sector. It had been given to her by a Threxian battlemaster during the War of the Shattered Moons, and she had killed him 3 heartbeats later. No one touched that scar. No one even spoke of it in Krelva's presence. Ferris stopped 3 meters from the throne. The matriarch's lips curled back, revealing teeth designed to rend armor plating. Around them, the adult Vacrians began a low, rumbling growl that vibrated through the floor. "Human," Krelva's voice was like grinding stone. "You requested audience. Speak your purpose, then leave our den before my patience expires." Ferris had spent 6 months on the diplomatic station, learning Vacrian customs, studying their pack dynamics, understanding the intricate social structures that governed their warrior society. She knew that what she was about to do violated every protocol, every carefully negotiated treaty clause, every bit of common sense that Rocky had tried to drill into her head. But she also knew something that the diplomats and the military advisors didn't understand. She had seen it in the way Krelva touched that scar when she thought no one was watching. She had heard it in the matriarch's voice when she spoke of lost packmates. "I come to offer alliance," Ferris said clearly, "but not as a diplomat, not as a representative of the Terran Council." She took 1 step forward. The growling intensified. "I come as one who has lost, as one who carries scars." Krelva's eyes narrowed. "You dare compare your human fragility to Vacrian suffering?" "No." Ferris pushed back her sleeve, revealing the network of burn scars that covered her left arm from wrist to shoulder. "I compare pain to pain, loss to loss, survival to survival." Rocky's voice crackled in her ear. "Ferris, what are you—" She muted the comm. "The Threxian who gave you that scar," Ferris continued, pointing to Krelva's face. "He killed your second-in-command first. Your brother." "I've read the reports." The chamber went deadly quiet. Several of the adult Vacrians half rose from their haunches. "Battle ready." "You speak of things you cannot understand," Krelva snarled. "I understand that you killed the Threxian, but it didn't bring him back," Ferris said softly. "I understand that you touch that scar when you think of him. I understand that every time you look in reflection metal, you see the moment you failed to save him." Krelva exploded from her throne with a roar that shook dust from the ceiling. She crossed the distance in a single bound, her massive clawed hand raised to strike. Ferris didn't flinch, didn't move, didn't reach for a weapon. The matriarch's hand stopped centimeters from Ferris's face, trembling with barely contained fury. "You know nothing," Krelva whispered, and for the first time, Ferris heard the crack in that stone-grinding voice. "I know that Mars' colony fell while I was off-world," Ferris said quietly. "I know that my brother died in the atmospheric processors while I was safe on a transport ship. I know that I carry his dog tags in my left boot. I know that I would trade every day since then to have died in his place." She slowly, carefully reached up toward Krelva's face. The entire den held its breath. Rocky had drawn his weapon at the entrance, though they both knew it would be useless if the Vacrians attacked. Ferris's fingers touched the scar, tracing the jagged line with infinite gentleness. "I know," she whispered, "that the scars we bear from protecting those we love are the ones that define us. And I know that your brother would not want you to face the Threxian armada alone out of pride." For a long moment, nothing moved. Then Krelva's eyes, those fierce golden, predatory eyes, filled with something Ferris recognized immediately because she saw it in her own reflection every morning. Grief. Pure and ancient and unhealed. The matriarch's hand came up, not to strike but to gently hold Ferris's hand against her scar. A single tear tracked down through silver fur, and then one by one every cub in the den lowered its ears and lay down. It was the Vacrian gesture of ultimate submission, reserved only for pack family. The adults followed, their massive forms sinking to the floor in a wave of silver and gray fur. Rocky stood frozen at the entrance, his weapon forgotten, watching history reshape itself. Krelva removed Ferris's hand from her scar and held it between both of her own enormous paws. "Your people are strange," she said, her voice rough but no longer hostile. "You are weak in body. Your world is far from here. You have no claim to our loyalty." "No," Ferris agreed, "but we have scars. And we remember those who gave them to us while protecting others." The matriarch's lips pulled back again, but this time it was a smile, a true Vacrian smile, all teeth and fierce joy. "Then we shall teach the Threxians what happens when they make enemies of those who remember their dead." She pulled Ferris forward and pressed their foreheads together, the traditional Vacrian pack-bonding gesture. "You are den friend now, Ferris of Terra, and the Vacrian clans do not abandon their pack." Rocky finally found his voice. Did we just secure an alliance?" Ferris touched her own chest, where her brother's dog tags hung beneath her uniform. "Yeah," she said softly. "We did. Because humans understood something that the other species were still learning. The strongest bonds weren't forged through shows of force or clever negotiations. They were forged through shared pain, acknowledged grief, and the simple act of saying, 'I see your scars, and I honor them.'" The cubs began to rise, approaching Ferris with curious sniffs and tentative tail wags. And in the heart of an alien den, on a world light years from Earth, humanity found the kind of ally that no treaty could ever guarantee. The kind that understood why scars mattered.